Hello, everybody. I am worried about Mark Laita. Does he need a conservatorship? Does he need jail? Because the way I see it, something has to be wrong with his frontal lobe, bless his heart. So in the midst of everything else that I have going on, like I'm literally trying to investigate and report upon an attempted you-know-what against a former United States president. And I got to stop everything I'm doing. I have to interrupt my own schedule, my videos about something very important. To yet again, I have to come over here and correct the record on some false statements one of Lima's associates, Mark Laita, is saying about me. So let me just bring it up. So this guy right here, I don't know who this is. I'm not going to bother myself with watching any of the rest of this video. I just found the part that was about me, and that's what we need to react to. Who is this man? I do not know, and I do not care. He does not pay my bills. I've never seen him in my life. Hold on. He don't pay my bills. Never seen him in my life. He dresses like he's headed to the school dance in 2005, if you ask me. So it really is immaterial to me what this man thinks. And of course, we have Mark Laita. So they wrapped their interview up, and I guess they wanted to make sure people watched it. So they put in a little something at the end.
I can't use my upper body like I used to. But
what do you think? What is the most important lesson that you've ever learned?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. There's a whole bunch.
What's the most important lesson you've ever learned? Like that was not a planted AF question.
You asked me.
I've asked this question 1,000 times. To really understand that everybody, there's a whole bunch of them. To understand that whoever is, whatever it is, so whoever's doing you dirty, whoever hurt your heart, broke your heart, whoever is doing something that you don't approve of.
Whoever's doing you dirty, whoever broke your heart, whoever's doing something you don't approve of. Okay.
There's a reason they're doing it. You don't know what that reason is, perhaps. In 90% of the cases, you'll never find out. But there's a reason. And if you understood, it becomes so easy to forgive.
Yeah.
And then once you forgive, then here's another lesson. It becomes so easy to just live in peace.
Listen, it's not even bad advice. It's not even wrong advice. I think that's pretty accurate. Like if you just realize everybody has their reasons for doing things and you go on about your business. I mean, unfortunately, sometimes people are doing things like posting children online like Mark Laita does. So I'm not about to just be like, oh, he has a reason. And the reason is he's a sick pervert. But guess that's, I got to forgive him. No. Also, it's clear to me that even if it is somewhat of a pretty decent advice, he don't take it for himself. The man is clearly obsessed. When is the last time I said Mark Laita? Okay. I have been talking about Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. I have been talking about the United States presidential elections. I have been talking about, things that matter a lot more than Mark Laita. And here he is with Timmy Turner. Trying to, it's boring. Like, at least Steve-O is something to laugh at. Like, I'm bored.
Because you're not going to walk around angry at somebody that they you over, or that they cut you off in traffic, or that they did something. If you understand there's a reason they did it, maybe it's the way their dad treated them, maybe their uncle did something to them when they were 6 years old, maybe their husband she suspects he's cheating on her or something. Like, there's a reason that everyone's doing what they're doing. And if you understood, you'd be patient, you'd forgive, you'd let them have what they want. You want to cut me off? You go ahead. You do your thing. You got to get to where you're going more than I do. And once you have that understanding, then you can just go through your life with peace of mind and knowing that.
It all sounds good, Mark, but you obviously ain't going through your life with the peace of mind. It's very clear to me that you're not at peace in your mind. If you were, this is not what you would be doing for your job. I mean, that's just my opinion.
You're just doing the right thing. You're not angry at anybody. You're not trying to get revenge. You're not trying to straighten anybody out. You're just like...
This right here, I feel like he's trying to... Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I need a conservatorship or jail or whatever, but it almost kind of sounds like he's trying to wave a white flag or something. Like he's trying to convince me, like, just to move on or something. Like, oh, if you're doing the right thing, then why do you want to worry about revenge? Oh, you mean like the two people that have come to me in my inbox and told me that Lima had them fill out false declarations and or changed their declarations in court? Is that the type of revenge you're talking about? Is it the $10,000 in sanctions that she owes my lawyers? Or is it the $87,400 in attorney's fees that she owes for the anti-stuff? Is that what you're asking me not to get the revenge? I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm the one who needs a conservatorship or jail, but let's listen to that one more time.
Once you have that understanding, then you can just go through your life with peace of mind and knowing that you're just doing the right thing. You're not angry at anybody. You're not trying to get revenge. You're not trying to straighten anybody out. You're just like allowing people to do what they want to do. And eventually they'll learn. They'll learn their lesson eventually.
Baby boy. Ooh, clearly the man don't know. He don't know what makes me tick, because the very last thing that I'm going to do is stop trying to straighten people out. It's like it's the whole reason I'm here, because clearly the adults that are in charge of the open air prison are putting 13-year-olds with their areolas out and telling us how to find them, where their address is, how much they cost for their service. I mean, this is the adults. This is the adults. So yes, I will continue trying to straighten people out. And yes, I will still have peace of mind doing it. Because why? Because it's my purpose.
Yeah, it's very rare where someone wakes up and decides, I'm going to be a piece of to Mark.
Right.
You know what I mean? I agree.
Jimmy Neutron is right. He is right. Nobody's waking up and just saying, oh, I want to be a POS to Mark for no reason. No, you know what's going on? Mark's causing it. Mark's behaviors, his actions, they have consequences. And he can treat these people on the street any type of way, because usually no one's going to believe them if they complain about it. But whenever he has to face somebody that's got an audience, like this Tyler guy, Oliviera that came for him a few months back, oh, he don't like that. He don't like that. But he can put these people up in their most vulnerable and lowest moments and all of that.
Showing people grace.
Yeah, no, I mean, this woman who's got a YouTube channel just to like knock people down.
I got a YouTube. He's talking about me. I got a YouTube channel just to knock people down. Okay, so that's, literally first sentence about me. I need to correct the record. I do not have a YouTube channel just to knock people down. I got about 3 YouTube channels, so get your figures straight, sir. And none of them are to just knock people down. If I was doing that, I would have a drama channel. If I was doing that, it would look a lot more like, I'm not going to mention any names, but bottom of the barrel type of drama channels on YouTube if I was just doing it to knock people down. No, that's not why I'm doing it. No, it's not. The reason I'm doing YouTube channels is because I want to and I feel like it. And whatever I want to say on my channels, on my platforms to my audiences that I've built, I will. But it's not just to knock people down, so just correcting that one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Great. Timmy Turner has heard about me and my one YouTube channel, I guess.
Somebody.
Yeah, the Something Investigates.
Something like that. Yeah. She...
Spit it out.
There's something motivating her to do that, because you make...
Yes, the Lord. It is. It's messages from the mothership. To put it in a way that a demon like you could understand, it's called a moral compass. You know, a compass, Mark? Just try to stay with me. You know, compass has a magnet in it, and it points north or whatever, however in the hell the technology works. I have one of those inside of me. And it points me in the direction of what is moral and from my understanding of it. And it's immoral, for example, for one example. I'm just going to give you one example. Since I know you watch my videos now, you just admitted it. As one example, let's say you're in charge of somebody's health care and you're responsible for the public knowing about it. And then you collect thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from this public. You tell them that the money is going to be for a specific reason, like, I don't know, someone's rehab or something. And then that person that they donated the money to help them go to rehab, they die. Yeah. And then after the person who's inserted themselves into the responsible position for that person's health, they don't tell you the facts about how that person died. Instead, they tell you a false, inaccurate statement, like the cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder, just as an example, just pulling one out of the sky. And this whole entire public has now been told something that's not accurate. That moral compass I just told you about points me in the direction of having to let those same people that gave all those thousands of dollars, let them know. That's what motivates me. That is. And I'm going to get a little bit more what motivates me at the end, because it seems to be somehow a mystery or like confusing, despite the fact I've talked about this many times. But I will get into that at the end. But let's see what else Mark and this boy wonder want to get into next.
Up information. This is, I watched the video this morning. I didn't watch it, but I saw some of it. And everything she was saying was concocted.
Yeah.
Thanks for the view, Mark. Hope you gave it a like.
None of it's factual. Not a word of it.
That's the looking for views to buy the Lamborghini. Like she just...
Sir, I don't know you from Adam. I don't know you from Adam, and I honestly, just based on the company you keep, I don't care to. But sir, I I could give a fuck and a half less about a Lamborghini. Now, what I would probably buy is like maybe a F-150, maybe like a '69 Camaro. I have no desire to have a Lamborghini. If somebody drove one up into my yard, I would say bring that shit back to the dealership. I don't want nothing to do with a Lamborghini. And also, I don't need a Lamborghini. I will have you know, Timmy Turner, I was making about $250,000 a year. Yeah, I was already making that amount of money. So this whole thing about like wanting to do this for clicks and views, it don't make sense. It don't add up. It really don't. I have spent more money than I have made. Every year I have been on YouTube because of Mark's friend, Lima, suing me. Cases all get dismissed. She's now been sanctioned. Yeah. So I've actually lost money. I have lost money. I've lost money on YouTube. So they get into this whole little fantasy conversation about how the reason I'm doing this is for money. It's a fantasy. They're playing pretend. They're just playing pretend.
Wow, the land of make-believe.
In front of millions of people, and nobody sues them for defamation yet. Nobody sues them for stalking and harassment yet. But honestly, y'all, and I probably shouldn't even say this out loud in case I do want to sue them one day, because clearly they're not going to stop. It's more just like they're kind of just like pests. Like, I don't even honestly feel like Mark Laita is the same species as me. I'm serious. I don't. I feel like he's so depraved. He's so low down. Like, I feel like I can see him and I can perceive that he exists, but the dimension I exist in is just like he has absolutely no access. Like a wounded creature that really, it's kind of pathetic. Because I know what's really going on is like Mark Laita is just like losing his cool factor. Like he used to be able to like, strut up and down Skid Row and like maybe, people thought he was cool and stuff. But now he's just like a old coot trying to pretend to be and stay relevant. I mean, he's like 20 years older than Adam, 16 or something. And even he's starting to become an old coot. And so it's like, what's going to make me relevant? Oh, I know. Let me go attack God's favorite. That'll do it. That'll get me some attention. And it's like, he's in desperate need of attention. It's like, I think he would wither. It's like, when you don't water a plant, it'll wither away and just kind of shrivel. That's what will happen to Mark Laita if people are not paying attention to him. And I feel bad for him because I can't relate. It's sad. It's a sad world he must live in.
I mean, a lot of that stuff is all clickbait because people make a lot of money.
You're talking to the man who has titles that say 12-year-old prostitute. Okay. So, I would hardly try to get all high and mighty over something that you would, and who are even you? Where's your clicks? Let me see your clicks. Let me see if you're even qualified to participate in this discussion, because from the looks of it, I don't know who you are, but you know exactly who I am.
On social media, just enticing people, saying the most outlandish.
Yeah, she's figured out. I mean, I'm in good company. Beyonce and Kim Kardashian and me and a few other people are all getting grilled.
Great company, Mark. Thank you for including yourself in that group.
So it's like I don't feel that terrible, but
I'm okay.
But it's not pleasant to hear people saying that you're doing all these terrible.
I would find that to be insulting. Yeah, no, I don't want to, no, thank you. It's kind of like the Lamborghini thing. Like, I know that most people would want that, or we're told that that's what we're supposed to want. I truly have no desire. I truly have no desire for a Lamborghini. And I truly have no desire to be included in groups in the likes of Beyonce and Kim Kardashian. Like, I genuinely cannot find that we would have very much in common at all. But I can see how Mark Laita would identify with those people. So I am appreciative that I have that soundbite. Thank you very much.
No, of course not. Of course not. And I wouldn't like it either.
Like, I'm a private person. I don't tell nobody knows what my person. Hear people saying.
Mark's like, it doesn't bother me because I'm in good company, but also it hurts my heart.
She's figured out. I mean, I'm in good company. Beyonce and Kim Kardashian and me and a few other people are all getting grilled. So it's like I don't feel that terrible, but
I'm okay.
But it's not pleasant to hear people saying that you're doing all these terrible things.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Mark, what did I say terrible thing you doing that you didn't do? All this roundabout pussyfooting around, can you just say it? Better yet, You could respond to the email I already sent you. I don't know, probably 2 years ago at this point. You can respond. You can respond to it. I'm happy to hash this out publicly. I have some questions. Here's the horrible things, Mark. Write it. I'm gonna give you a second. Get your pen. How did it come to be? That you commented on your video that there was 2 autopsy reports, and then I got an email from the coroner that says the one that I got is the only one? Okay, that's question 1. Question 2, how did it come to be that Amanda Rabb was chosen? Because I have you on some videos saying, why still to this very day, has nobody come out and explained how and why Lima Yevrimovich said the cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder on Amanda Rabb's autopsy? How come no one's ever given an explanation for how that came about? How did that come to be? It's a question I have. And also, the horrible thing that I say that you did is that you put and continue to put children, minors, very young children, 13, not 17 and a half, 13. Some of them just turning 13. And you're talking to them about sex.
And how old are you now?
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've been working some of the streets as a prostitute? How long has that been going on?
Since May.
Since May?
Yeah.
When she lost custody of you've been on your own since then?
Yes.
Do you have anyone you can go to?
Mm-mm.
You're not working with the pimp.
I can't do pimps.
That's hard to believe at 13 years old.
Yes,
you don't have
I
a
know,
pimp on.
but what I've experienced, I can't do a pimp.
Tell me about what you're going through trying to make money this way. Well, I mean, a 13-year-old girl, you start discovering boys and you're in high school and stuff like that. I mean, you're living a very different life than a typical high school kid.
Yeah.
You're experiencing men, probably.
Yeah, men. When they know that you're young, they try to take advantage of you, and I could tell when somebody's trying to take advantage of me, and I don't go for that.
About how much they charge for it, about the most vulnerable, traumatic moments in their life. Many of them do have parents still who they live with, and it's disgusting in my opinion, and that's what I say. So if that hurts your feelings, it's probably because you got a guilty conscience, and maybe perhaps there is a little spark, a little tiny spark left in there of some type of human soul. Maybe you ought to have some conversations with that last little spark before it's too late. But instead, what you have chosen to do, completely unsurprisingly, because you are Lima's associate, is to point the finger at somebody who you're jealous of, somebody who you envy, somebody who you despise. And the reason you envy me is because you see how I am using my light. You see how just one little annoying flickering candle in literally the darkest abyss imaginable, it really does make quite an impact. Mm-hmm. So what else they had to say over here?
And I wouldn't like it either.
I'm a private person. I don't tell nobody knows what my personal life's all about.
Too bad, so sad, big boy. You've chosen to make yourself a public figure. You've chosen to market this channel to such a degree that has millions of subscribers. And so sorry about it.
And I keep it that way. But here's to somebody who's...
Public records is public also, buddy. Don't make stuff public if you don't want it public.
Just making it all public. And it's like...
Because he's putting pictures of his parents on his Instagram. That's where I got the pictures from his Instagram account.
It's just uncool.
Well, and they're making it up.
Now, this man, this leather shoe, the man who sells uncensored videos of 13-year-olds' areolas, doesn't think I'm cool. Damn. I'm going to mark that one on the checklist of thank God. It's kind of the same thing as when Jess Margera doesn't think I'm cool. Thank you. I would have some serious concerns about myself. I would need to reevaluate. It might be my 13th reason why. If you thought I was cool, Marcus.
Even if she was right or wrong, it's 100% wrong, but let's say it's partially right. It's just uncool.
Yeah.
Would Mark know cool if it slapped him upside the toupee?
It's just uncool. Like, you don't do that to people.
I just did.
It's not like they're taking a fact and running with it.
Who's they? Say it with your chest, big boy. Say it with your chest. You sitting on the big boy stool. You in a hot seat with your jorts. Say it with your chest.
They're like, I have no fact.
Who's they? Who's they? Who's they? Who's he talking about?
It's just uncool. Like, you don't do that to people.
Well, it's strange because it's not like they're taking a fact and running with it. They're like,
It's just uncool. Like, you don't do that to people.
I have no facts, so I'm going to make a bunch of shit
She
up.
could have easily called me and asked me, like, hey, or the
Two things. First of all, I often have some facts, so I'm not making everything up. But even if I was, let's say this man's right. I'm making everything up and it's 100% made up. Let's say Jimmy Neutron is right. Then why are these two grown men sitting here talking about why you worrying about it if it's not facts? Going about your business. If it's all just not facts and I'm doing it for clicks and money, aren't y'all the ones that respect the hustle so much? You sitting there arf like a seal whenever Adam 16 or whatever lets his wife, you know what, with another man. Because why? Because you got to respect the hustle. So if I'm over here doing the hustle, getting the clicks and the likes and all this money that y'all think I'm making, why you complaining about it? Isn't this live by the sword, die by the sword, or what? It's only good when y'all do it.
to people.
Well, it's strange because it's not like they're taking a fact and running with it. They're like, I have no facts, so I'm going to make a bunch of shit
She
up.
could have easily
Making a bunch of stuff up. Just making it up. So why y'all worried about it if I'm just making it up? Just things to think about. Also, Mark saying I could have easily just called him. First of all, I do not have his phone number, so I could not have easily called him. Second of all, I did send him an email, and Mark, you are more than welcome to at any point in time 2 years late respond to it. Third of all, I did email Adam Grand Mason 16 as well. And guess what? He did respond. And you know what he told me? He don't take me seriously. So if y'all don't take me seriously over there in that podcast circuit y'all are running or whatever you doing, I mean, at best, it's a podcast circuit. At worst, you know exactly what it is. Just making a bunch of shit up, though. Don't listen to me.
He called me and asked me, like, hey, or the Tyler, the guy that did this video on the Whitaker.
Or the. He freaking remembered in that moment that I did email him. Open mouth, insert foot, Mark. Listen, midstream. Now he got to bring up Tyler because he knows I emailed his ass. Respond to the email, Mark. Or get your assistant to do it because she got it too.
I have no facts, so I'm going to make a bunch of shit
She
up.
could have easily called me and asked me, like, hey, or the Tyler, the guy that did this video on.
Like, hey, because you remembered that I did email you, didn't you? I couldn't have easily called you. You didn't even answer the email.
On the Whitaker family earlier this spring, this last winter, I guess, and even had a story.
And then the video after that guy did that video, then the video comes out.
And then they talk about this other creator for a while.
You know what? I'm really sorry I f***ed up.
Yeah.
I never even said I'm sorry, but it was an apology video. That one he deleted.
Yeah, he was just saying,
I'm not sorry for a damn thing. I'm not sorry for not one thing.
like, hey, just so everyone knows,
No, I am not.
you know, it is on the up and up. I saw that.
Yeah, he was up for a while, but he deleted it.
I mean,
It's not fair.
no.
So back what I was saying, lessons I've learned. I mean, that's it. You understand that these people.
So now Mark, with no medical license and never having even bothered to respond to the one emailer. I think I sent him 2, but I was only able to find 1. So I'm going to just say for sure 1. Now he's going to do a psychoanalysis on me. He's going to try and tell his millions, it's not fair. It's not fair that she said stuff that's not facts, but I'm about to say something about her that isn't facts. And I have millions of subscribers and that's fair. Like, he's about to do he's going to attempt to do a psychoanalysis on me based on, I think it's probably the voices in his head, the demons that are taking up, the literal legion of demons that is in control of his host of a body at this point that must be spewing out of his mouth whenever what he's about to say. It just is the only explanation.
They come from a family or a mindset.
Oh, he's going to purport to know about what kind of family I come from. It damn sure ain't the kind that's practicing the types of rituals that you and your mama's doing, but
You understand that these people, they come from a a family or a mindset of, I need to get as much as I can. I need to do what.
I need to. Let me correct the record, y'all. That is not what goes on in my mind. That I need. But I'm telling y'all, it's the legion. Because what's going on is the parasitic legion of thetans that has their talons into Mark Laita right now. They're especially triggered by, in particular, me. And so he cannot even get words out. He can't. It's honestly, it's terrifying. He can't even get the words out of his mouth. One more time.
From a family.
He's talking about the type of family I come from, and listen how he's just so triggered and obsessed that he just cannot contain his violent verbal outbursts.
Or a mindset of, I need to get as much as I can. I need to do whatever the fuck it takes to get what I want.
Yeah. No, that's not true. First of all, that's just not true. I would be making like $300,000 a year right now and not have gotten sued by Lima and not have had to give up my license. I would be making way, 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 way more money. It's actually, Mark, you're half right. I come from a rough background. It was rough where I grew up. Probably you couldn't have handled it. Probably you wouldn't have made it out. Probably you would have ended up on the street or something. Probably why you're so obsessed with people like that, because you know that's what you would have been. That wasn't my path. And you know what? The reason I don't judge people like you do and exploit them and take advantage of them in their vulnerable moments like you do is because I have empathy. Yes, I do come from a rough background, but guess what? It didn't make me say, I'm going to do whatever it was you just did. I need to do. No, it was, I've already been to the bottom of the bottom. I've experienced some of the worst things firsthand that you can experience as a child. Yes, I have. But it did not make me whatever reaction you would have had. No, I've already seen the worst that there is. I've been through the worst. I've been broke and I've had nothing. I've had no one, and no one gave a fuck if I lived or died. And so to me, I've died 1,000 times. Every time I didn't know if I was going to have food on the table. Every time I didn't know if the lights were going to get turned off in the middle of a who knows what. Every time we had to sleep with the oven open because the heater was broken. I died every one of those times. I've died 1,000 times. And somehow the good Lord sees it fit that I keep waking back up. And I keep going. They come tromping through, fee, fi, fo, fumming. I'll have a handful of rocks, I'm frolicking, and then they keep falling. So, I mean, listen. This isn't about doing whatever that demon was trying to say, sir. It is about truly doing the right thing. And the right thing is to hold people accountable. People who maybe they're powerful men who nobody's checking, who's friends with all the cops in LA. That's the people that I get to hold accountable. That's the people I will continue to hold accountable. And I'm just so sorry that includes you and your weirdo friends. But that's a you thing. That's a you decision. You can choose to separate yourself from this depravity at any moment. And I hope you do. Because if you don't, you're going to be back here again doing it all over again. And you know I'm right.
A family or a mindset of, I need to get as much as I can. I need to do whatever the fuck it takes to get what I want.
Yeah.
And what I want is money or something related to that.
It's just literally illogical. I am a graduate of an Ivy League law school. I could be making hundreds, plural, of thousands of dollars a year. Still could. I could take any bar exam in this country and without any doubt in my mind pass it on the first try, easily. And this time next year, I could be making $300,000-$400,000. Yes, I could. Maybe more with the experience I have now. I have invaluable experience to offer a law firm at this point. I've been through YouTube lawsuits. What does every kid that you've talked to in the last 2 years want to be? This is not about money for me. I've been broke pretty much my whole life. I've been poor pretty much my whole life. And I'm happy to go be poor again if it means not having to put up with the likes of weirdos like you trying to impose on me. But you know why I do this? It's because this video is Exhibit A. I get to say what I want, how I want, when I want. I'm not lying, and I'm certainly not misleading the public about how I'm spending their funds that I've solicited. That's for damn sure. I can't say the same about everybody in this conversation with certainty, but I can say it for sure about myself.
It's like here's a third lesson. Like everything, I've said this before in other talks, like everything we do is either an act of love or an act of fear.
Yeah.
And then he started getting all philosophy, bro. And I'm like, actually, I don't actually agree with that at all. Not everything we do is an act of love or an act of fear. That's very strangely reductive, but I don't know. It seems to me like Mark might have some cognitive decline going on. Anyway, that's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye. Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my knee. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof. Inflame. Kids these days so shameless. Selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though. I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballager. Shots been fired. Run and tell that. Say it to my face though. Now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. Fast Vivo.